One more idea that I had is about adding polygons to your screen instead of circles. In that case, let's see, is this the one we've been working on? Yes, it is. So I cleaned up a little bit of it, but basically, let's just say we have, instead of drawing a circle where we need a radius, we no longer do that. And instead, it's kind of funny because I'm using CX here, which of course stands for circle, but we're not going to use circles anymore. We still need a width and a color. Maybe even you are like, well, I don't want to change my width anymore, so it's just going to stick at 5 or whatever. You can delete some things here that we don't need anymore. But let's just quickly say we want a CX2. Again, it's kind of funny to call them, no, it's too much work to change the names of them right now. So CX2, CY2, we're going to make a triangle. So we're going to have CX3 and CY3. So we're going to create 3 points, right? So here at our draw circle, we're now going to say polygon. Please just pause anytime I get ahead of you. And I make these changes kind of quickly. I'm just trying to go fast, but you can always pause it. Down here we have this big old global thing. You can always add another one, I'm pretty sure. So if it's too many on one line and you're getting confused, you could always do it this way. So, okay, so I've made those global. I'm kind of I was jumping all over the place, so I apologize. Here's the main changes. We've got 3 values up here for CX and CY, even though I started some of them just at zeros because it's something I'm going to do with them. I still have my make color stuff to make random colors. I added a global line with my new values for the CX and CY. And now we can draw the polygon, and the polygon has 3 points, CX and CY, CX2 and CY2, and CX3 and CY3. Now if I first draw this, the first 2 points are the corner here, and this is a third point. So I'm just drawing things out from the corner again, which is kind of like what I did before with lines. But what I was thinking is I was going to just make these other ones random. So I'm going to say CX2 equals a random number from 0 to width. CY2 is a random number. And I've never really done this before, so I'm just kind of seeing what happens if I do this. Again, copy and paste would be easier than doing all this one at a time. So this one's still changing with some rules. These other 2 points are just jumping all over the place. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's what I thought. You might notice that 1 point, since it's kind of following some sort of pattern, it gets kind of funny. Now also the colors I chose, because my colors right now are very green, so I'm going to change my colors back to something I had before and just let my colors be any of random old colors, right? So I've got triangles, it looks like broken glass just kind of exploding and coming at you in all sorts of different places. So that's what you can do with like randomness. You could of course add a 4th point and make random rectangles, or a 5th point and make random pentagons. You also could say, well, I don't want them to be random. I want them to move around the screen just like these move around the screen. And if so, you could just take these out and then copy and paste this down here. This is really where functions come in nicely, because probably I should have created a function to do this. If I was really clever, I could make all of this happen with one function, but I have to put 2's on all these, and then I have to put 2's on all these, and that says plus the CR. That doesn't even exist anymore, so I can get rid of that. See, so that's the problem, is it always takes a little bit of work. Oops, I didn't want the 2 on that one. That was dumb. But I did want the 2 here, and here, and here, and here. Oops, I already did a 2 there. I wanted a 3 there. And a 3, a 3, a 3, and a 3. The only problem is I've changed only the CY dir and the CX dir, so I also want CX2, CY2, CX2, CY2, CX3, CY3, so I'm putting all 3's in, and then of course now I have 2 new variables, well 4 new variables, the CX dir and the CY dir for all of these, so I have to come back here and say, okay, now I have CX dir 2, CY dir 2, CX, I did it wrong, right? CX2 dir, CY2 dir, CX3 dir, and CY3 direction. And then I just need to finally set them up here. I can paste these. Oops, I can take these 2 and paste them and change them. You could even change the values of these so that they're all different values. That could be cool. And, that's interesting. I like the other way more with it random. Why are they always in a line? Probably because it's just then a line of these things, yeah. Let's make their starting values random. I always find some randomness makes things interesting. Trying to set things up to be perfect doesn't always work. And letting it just be chaotic sometimes is the best way to go. Now it's getting weird. It's kind of random, it's kind of changing. I expected it to kind of flip around on itself every once in a while, but it's just kind of changing its positions. So who knows? Maybe I did something weird here that you're seeing that I'm not seeing. For one thing, you could change the values of these. And that's starting to do it, but I'm still surprised it's behaving like it is, but that's okay. Like I said, you mess around with these numbers, you see what happens, and sometimes you get something really amazing that you didn't expect. Sometimes you get a little disappointment, and you just kind of see, oh, I see why, because I didn't change these. That's probably the main reason why. There we go, that's kind of what I thought I'd get. That's a little bit more interesting. So, like I said, but hey, maybe you like the last one and you're like, oh, that's something I didn't expect and I like it as a screensaver. But you can do all sorts of different things with this. Again, add a few more and get polygons or, pentagrams. Ooh, pentagrams. Pentagons or hexagons or something, and then you'd really be doing crazy things. But there's some options for you. One more tip will be about making images.